Dr. Mew's Super Statistics Tutorial. Episode 2, Describing Data. I have this little cat named Duke.
Meow.
And my mind works in curious ways. I saw him cleaning himself the other day. And it wasn't the cute kind of cleaning. He was going at it, cleaning his dick. But as soon as I looked over, he covered himself and had this look like he was embarrassed that I saw what he was doing. That got me thinking. Was my cat embarrassed because he has a small dick? So I dug into my statistics toolkit. The first thing I needed to know was the average dick size for a house cat. That way I'd know if my cat had anything to be embarrassed about. I mean, it looks pretty small to me. But then again, so do all cat dicks. Except for this picture of a lion's dick I found on the internet. That thing looks pretty respectable. I needed a better way to understand how cat dicks are distributed. So I asked a veterinarian friend of mine if I could have a day of measuring cat dick under the guise of research. What can I say? I love Duke, and I couldn't stand to see him suffer, thinking his cathood was inadequate. Here's what I found. The average cat dick was only 3 centimeters. Since I measured Duke's at 4 centimeters, it turns out he was really well hung. That got me thinking about that lion dick I saw earlier. And not in a weird way. I mean, Duke's clearly not bigger, but what about Duke relative to other cats compared to the lion relative to other lions? Duke just might be relatively bigger. Certainly that would make him feel pretty manly. Catly. After having him neutered, I felt it was important to give the little guy a win like that. So I went to the zoo, to do some research. Turns out this lion was pretty well hung too. Definitely above average. But how do I go about figuring which was more above average? Who wins the feline big dick contest? I needed to think about variability. On average, how far from the mean is a given feline cock? Lion dick is obviously on a different scale than house cat dick. So, if I knew something about the variability of each distribution, I could figure out which was further away from their mean, irrespective of scale. I got my lion dick data and my house cat dick data. I went back to the numbers and added up how far each of them was from the mean. And, oh fuck, it adds up to 0. And I checked my math, and I'm sure it's right. It turns out that the sum of the deviations from the mean is always 0. All that basically means is that the mean lies directly in the center of every distribution. That's fine conceptually, but not useful for finding the average deviation from the mean. So, what I decided to do was square all the deviation scores. That way, I'd have a positive result for every entry. I soon found out that on average, cat dicks were ½ centimeter from a mean of 3 centimeters, while lion dicks were, on average, 3 inches from the mean of 10 inches. Since Duke's cock was 4 centimeters, he was 2 full standard deviations away from the mean, while the lion, with a 13-inch schlong, was only 1 standard deviation away from the mean. The best part is that now I can tell Duke exactly how big his little cat dick is. I'm assuming cat dicks are normally distributed, as are most distributions in the world. So I can look at a score that's 2 standard deviations away from the mean and find exactly how many cats have dicks larger than Duke's. This diagram here shows me that only 2.27% of cats have a bigger dick than Duke. We can also look to see how exceptional Duke is. That is, how many cats have dicks further from the mean than his in either direction. This just includes the bottom tail and the top tail. Only 4.55% of cats have dicks further from the mean than Duke.
Meow.
Now that's pretty impressive. Take that, you small-dicked lion. Well, not small, just not as relatively large as Duke here.
Meow.
I thought this was a pretty good procedure for comparing across populations, so I named this the dick score. But people probably won't like to talk about dick score, so I renamed it Z-score. Okay, that's a lie. Dr. Mew didn't come up with Z-score, and it wasn't discovered by measuring a feline cock. A Z-score will, however, tell you if a score is above or below the mean, and how far in units of standard deviations any given result is from the mean.